What's up YouTube, WinterGuard here. So for today's video we're going to get into something I had done previously back when D2R first launched. And what we're going to do is we're going to target farm the Stone of Jordan ring. As everybody knows, SOJ is one of the most popular rings to be found in Diablo 2 and is also used to spawn the DClone. For those who are not aware, for the DClone to spawn in D2R currently, the method is for players to sell the Stone of Jordan to a vendor, and this is based per region. So for instance, it's going to be based off whether it's done on NA, Europe, or Asia. And the point is to sell between 75 and 125 rings, which it is a variable amount between that range. And at some point, as those rings are sold, the DClone will spawn, and anybody that's in a hell game at that time when the DClone spawns, of course, he will spawn in their game, and then they go, if possible, and kill him and get the Annihilus. So this kind of spawned out of a conversation we were having on stream because of the number of SOJs required for a DClone to spawn and the number of spawns that were occurring. It doesn't feel legitimate what is occurring right now. I feel like, or we felt like, either the SOJs are being duped, probably less likely but potentially the case, or that there were bots running to farm the SOJ. The best place to farm an SOJ, to target farm, is Nightmare Andariel. She has a 1 in 3,800 approximately. 1 in 3,800 chance of dropping an SOJ. And the way that works out is based off of her level, the monster level, there's only 3 unique rings that can spawn when the Nightmare Andariel drops a unique ring. So, but it's not a 1 in 3 shot with the SOJ. It's actually 1 in 31, whereas the Manold and the Nagel that can spawn on Andariel both have a 15 out of 31 chance of dropping. So that's probably best odds, but it's not necessarily going to be fast. So what I decided to do was see how many runs it would take me to get an SOJ to drop. As I was stating before, based off of the DClone spawn and how many SOJs are required to do this, I honestly don't believe that these are being farmed organically or being found organically, based off of the number of DClones that are currently popping and the number of SOJs required to do this. I'm not going to point any fingers or say who or what's doing this, but I feel like the DClone spawns, the SOJs are either being bought off of one of those unnamed websites, or there are people that are currently running bots and farming SOJs and donating them to people that are spawning the DClone. I don't see this being a legitimate DClone spawns that are occurring right now. But I mean, there's no proof to that. I just wanted to see how long it would take me to farm an SOJ manually, knowing where the best drop rate is, and see how long it would take. So before we get into it, if you want to drop a guess into the comments on how many runs it took me, go ahead and do that now. Drop it in the comments. Based on what we're doing is I'm running it with the Sork, which is probably the fastest way to do this. She's running about 300 magic fine, which is not a great amount by any means, but if you're running bots, it's probably going to be around that. The runs take between 30 and 45 seconds a piece, so it's fairly quick. But the number of runs, my initial attempt when I did this back in D2R, I think I did it in about 600 runs, which is quite a few. And if you got several, well, I don't know how many bots people would run that do bots, but say for instance somebody's got, say, 50 bots, you could probably farm, and they're running 24/7, you could probably farm at least 50 SOJs a day if you're doing that. But if you're running manually, I just based off the number of DClones that are being popped right now, I don't think this is humans that is doing this. But regardless, I wanted to test it out. We'll see how many runs it takes. If you enjoy the video, give me a like and subscribe. You can catch me on stream just about every day, and my link to my Discord is in the description. We'll touch base on this and do a quick recap after the compilation of runs. And go ahead and leave your guess in the description. Let's get into it. Okay, so we did get it. Well, honestly, I wasn't going to stop until we found it, but here it is. Here's the SOJ that dropped. So we got 1,641 runs into this before the SOJ dropped. That's pretty crazy. But I mean, it is what it is. That's how RNG works. I had a total of 29 unique rings drop. So if you look at the numbers, just raw numbers, the 1 out of 31 is a chance out of an SOJ dropping out when a unique ring pops from an Andariel. So it's actually pretty close to that number. But I mean, again, that's RNG. It could have literally been the very first unique ring. Maybe 50 runs in, but we went 1,600 runs in, and it took us that long to pop an SOJ. Again, I just wanted to just kind of test this out just to see. I mean, because potentially if you're running a bot, I mean, it could be 1,600 runs before the SOJ dropped. It could be the first run, but I mean, that's how RNG worked. But the numbers required to spawn DClone again is you have to sell. It's a minimum of 75 rings, and it can be up to 125 rings to get a DClone spawn. We've had quite a few happen already. On the Asia servers, it's been happening several times a week. Not so much on NA in Europe, but I think as you're going to see a ramp up on this. I think by the end of last season, there were multiple a day happening. And I don't see that occurring without some aid in farming SOJs, if you know what I mean. But that's neither here nor there. I mean, we can't, as a community, really stop it. All we can do is hope that Blizzard can stay on top of it. But it is what it is. As long as there's DClone spawning, we'll probably be taking advantage and trying to get us an upgrade to an Annihilus, get one for another character, that sort of thing. But I just wanted to test it out and see how long it would take me, and obviously it took me quite a while. But we'll leave it here. Let me know what you guys think about whether this is a duping issue or botting issue in the comments. If you want to participate in the live streams, we usually have a great time, so check my schedule for that. And if you want to reach out and just have a conversation with me, I'm usually on Discord. Link to that is in the description. So we'll leave it here. Keep on farming.